on what end of the spectrum you are on, it can be a great thing. If you are a parent that is unable to bear your own child, adoption could be a dream come true. However, if you are the parent that's given your child up for adoption, it's one of those things that it can be a lifetime of sorrow, but it also could be a lifetime of happiness knowing that you're providing a better home for your child if you know that you can't provide for. There's also that third element that a lot of times is forgotten when it comes to the element of adoption, and that is the child itself. The interest of the child needs to go beyond just having a good home as a baby. The child has a right to know its heritage, its health history, and have closure to the adoption to live a long, healthy, secure life. And that is why open adoption is the right choice. Open adoption can mean many things to many different people. To some, open adoption is actual direct contact with the parent, the adoptive parent, and the adoptive child. To others, it is the use of an agency for all parties to make contact. But the way I look at it, contact or the openness of adoption is giving the child a right to know where to make contact with their birth parent or receive all the necessary information for the good of that child. Every child in this world deserves to grow up living a happy, healthy life. And one big part of every person's life is basically their family history. Every person is interested in knowing where they came from, their heritage, of their ancestors. And if adoptive parents try to avoid dealing with their children's history, they're denying them a part of their identity. How is any child to discover hidden talents or feel complete if they don't ever know actually where they even came from? And professionals have long argued that close adoptions also contribute to the adoptee's identity confusion early on in adolescence. And regardless of the home that a child is brought up in, their family history will always be with them, and they deserve to know where they came from. Another important factor in a child's life is their sense of belonging. A family can adopt a child and provide a loving home, but many times these children still have a feeling of emptiness. Open adoptions considerably lessen the adoptive children's feelings of rejection, and as the adopted children mature, they actually gain a realistic understanding of the problems that led to their adoption. In speaking with many adopted friends that I have had, they was always left with the unanswered question, why? They always blame themselves, and many of them still feel that something must have been wrong with them or something along those lines for their parents to actually not want them. But what better way to allow these adoptees to get the true answers surrounding their adoption than to allow this to be open and to get the answers that they actually need and deserve to live that happy, healthy life that they deserve. Studies also have shown that openness would have minimized their feeling of rejection and would have provided a more complete picture of who they actually were. No child should be left with the feeling of being rejected or feeling empty regardless of their age, and openness in adoption can help give these children and the answers that they deserve. Family health is another huge factor in a child's life, and there are so many diseases like heart disease, diabetes, Down syndrome, and there's countless more that can basically be led to their heritage and family history, their genetics, but there's countless more, and the well-being of each person is very vital on knowing this family history of their well-being and their health history. Adopted children many times are left in the dark when it comes to their family medical history, so how are they actually supposed to receive the proper medical care that they need to fight off these diseases that might be facing them in the future, or how do they know actually how to live their life if they're not receiving this information or able to get this information to know maybe they need to live a healthier life, exercise more, because they know that they're more prone to possibly being diabetic or having a heart failure. So with that said, all children, I don't care if it's an adopted child or a child that grows up in a two-person home, every child in this world deserves the right to live a happy, healthy life, and those of adopted children need that extra element of security, knowing where they came from, their family history, their medical history, and every other aspect that they need. But they need to know where to get the information that they need, whatever it is, to know that, hey, this is where they can go later on in life when they have those questions that they need answered. And open adoption is the only way to have that done.